following show may shock, disturb, and offend some viewers. The opinions, theories, and facts shared on this podcast are not widely accepted by the brainwashed masses, especially those who find dark humor offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood. The Unabomber blowing up. Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates. Aliens modified, meant for apes. JFK shot in the head by the CIA. Bigfoot and the Mothman. Son of Sam talking to dogs again. Witches, ghosts, and goblins. Mysterious noise and hauntings. Dark arts in the skull and bones. Most celebrities are probably cloned. So if you're feeling all alone, crack a beer and get stoned. I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew. We're here to entertain you. We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
One's blacked out on scotch. One's laughing at dad jokes. One's screaming about Irish ghosts. Let's get strange. In my veins, talking about lizards flying government planes, yelling Zionist mind control way too loud. Billy's just sighing, trying to laugh in the crowd, making jokes no one gets or should, cause I'm half drunk, half lizard misunderstood. Moon landing fake, bro, obviously. Now let me rant about hollow earth philosophy. I tell dad jokes like it's rocket science. Tomcats yelling, I prefer silence. I got beer, facts, puns that are cursed, let's be honest. Definitely made worse. We're drunk, we're weird, we're barely alive. Talking ghosts and cults on a conspiracy dive. Tomcat rants, Billy cracks up. Aaron's in the corner with a demon in his cup. This is Strange Brew. Turn off the lights. We're loud, we're wrong, but we're usually right. Let's get strange. In my flask, tails in my throat, dead girl screaming in a haunted code. Irish horror, straight from the bog, telling true stories that's just odd, what the fuck? Billy's confused, Tom's talking Rothschild. I'm dropping facts that'll make you go wild, like in 1823, a nun caught fire. Okay, just saying, that's kind of dire.
All right, I think we got the point.
Why do I feel like we were just bought out? This feels like the first episode after you just like signed a deal, and it's like, look at this new spin we put on things.
Yes, this is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be deep. There's it's a touchy subject. And me and Aaron kind of discussed it. Like we did a show that Billy was supposed to be on. It was his idea to go live on 9/11, and he was not there. But me and Aaron
I'm
talked
sorry.
40 minutes, literally like the day after it happened. So definitely go check out the 9/11 special. But I asked Billy, I was like, okay, I wrote out some interesting conspiracies regarding Charlie Kirk's death, and I asked him, I was like, do you want to get into Hollywood or Halloween? And Billy chose this, and I was like, maybe it is a good idea to strike while the iron's hot. My mic is low, by the way. Oh, great. This is bullshit. What are we doing here? Every time I go live. Okay, audio. Check.
You feel better?
How's this sound? Is this louder?
Oh, yeah, you're
How's
fine.
this? How's this? Maybe I should just turn this shit off. Okay. Does it sound better? I'm just going to turn this off. And turn this up. Okay, is this sound good?
Show.
Is that
this is
better?
A good show. I'm glad to be
better?
a part of this.
Is that better?
You're fine. Relax.
Is that good?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Are we good? Happy Friday, everybody. Yes, we got. Actually, let's just let the chat display, and then everyone can see what's going on. Yeah. So, like, okay. He's like, yes. Is that better? Is that good? Are you happy now? But like, there's a lot of weird things regarding this, and we're gonna start going into the Halloween season and discussing I got a lot of fun stuff for the show, everybody. A lot of fun episodes. But this is kind of serious, but also there's so much yelling and conspiracies. But I can't help it, man. I'm trying to drink. I'm working out now. I'm trying to be healthy. And it's just like when I see like just Halloween beer, this is called Satan's Pillowcase.
You'd be the worst white girl.
Look at how cool that is.
I'd catch you at Starbucks constantly. That's so weird. The craft beer industry in Ontario is getting a little out of hand.
Pumpkin.
They're just like, what else weird can we do just to kind of break the barrier?
Yeah, and that's all Canadians do, man. So they just drink.
It's honestly just Ontario. Like the craft beer, no, I guess like Vancouver and BC still have a huge thing, but come out like New Brunswick way or East Coast, like the craft beer is really not existent. Like it's there, but not like, yeah, no one's ever seen craft beer until you walk into an LCBO. That's next level.
Yeah. And the thing is too, right? You're like, most Canadians are so demoralized and beaten down that they're like, it's okay that we're being invaded and our country is being systematically destroyed.
I'm good with Canadian. Oh my God. Is that what this is about? Is that what today's about? Is that where it is? Is that where we're going?
Cheering for death, cheering death. Like,
yeah, no, that's
how crazy are people when you're cheering for death? Ask Rock if Erica Kirk, we're going to get into that, stands to benefit from Charlie Kirk's murder. The response are hilarious. It said she is likely a Mossad agent working with Ben Shapiro to subvert Christianity conservatism. Christian conservative. That's interesting. We'll be getting into that stuff. So I said, like, I wasn't a fan of Charlie Kirk, you could say. I saw his videos. I was aware of him. I'm usually aware of a lot of these people that are doing this type of thing. I've seen a lot of his videos throughout years of podcasting and being online and spreading truth, not hatred. I don't spread hatred. I spread truth, facts, but people claim different because they're brainwashed. But, I didn't agree with him on everything. I remember I said to Aaron a couple weeks ago, right? When I was talking to a guy at work, he's like, "Oh, I like watching Charlie Kirk's videos and stuff." And I was like, "I like Charlie Kirk. He's an interesting cat. I think he's on point with some stuff." But I said I didn't like his support of Israel, and that we'll be getting to that fairly soon. But I want to know, Billy, what was your view of Charlie Kirk? You were aware of him, I know that, but like, what did you think of him?
Yeah, he was a pretty stand-up guy all around. Like, just someone that just goes in, he knows what he's talking about, and he was a master debater. South Park nailed it on that one.
Willing to debate people, like talk out our problems.
And right? I've heard a lot too, like, and especially after he died, you start going down the rabbit hole of listening to a lot of previous ones, right? Too. So like, there was a few of them, and actually, there's one specifically that's standing out in my mind that this black guy and him are going at it for, I don't know, it must have been 13 to 15 minutes, somewhere in that, and it was the nicest debate I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, this is so nice. Like, why can't everyone talk like this? Like, two people, completely opposing views. Like, I understand you. I hear you. But also this. And he's like, oh, well, that makes sense. But what if you think about it this way? And I'm like, just no emotion involved. Just like pure fact. Just like, oh, that's interesting. You'd say it that way. Or you see it that way. And then.
That's how it should be. We should be able to talk these things out, not kill each other over different opinions.
Someone's stupid and not just like immediately just getting like angry and upset or making up bullshit and just actually being able to have a conversation that way. It was refreshing.
That's where we should be going, but it only is fueling tensions. I heard like a bunch of generals are getting together right now because there's talks of World War III.
Ooh,
stuff is kind of crazy. The UK is trying to implement a digital ID. As we said, order out of chaos, bringing all these third world immigrants that are destroying the country from within because they don't have the intellectual capability to understand what is happening. They just want to take advantage, not all of them, but a lot of them take advantage, and then they use it for, we let in so many people, and there's so many illegals and people, and we don't even know how they got in here, even though we're flooding them, putting them on boats, paying for them in hotels, and we need a digital ID so that we can, and they're claiming that you won't be able to work unless you have it. They're trying to push this shit right now.
Ooh.
Pretty crazy.
How dare I not get $18 an hour? Oh, no.
Well, how dare I not be a slave, right? Because
I'm good.
So to get us started, we'll play like a clip or two of Charlie debating, and so people can get a feel if you didn't know who he was. I'm sure most people do at this point, just to kind of get us into
he's been everywhere.
Yeah, this is a pretty crazy event that happened. So
as someone who's about to serve my military and put my life on the line for this country, it's tough knowing that our nation promotes things like abortions and transitioning kids. How do you reconcile serving a country that upholds these values like these, and how can we as conservatives fight against these policies while still serving proudly?
First of all, what's your name?
Hayden.
Hayden, thank you for wanting to serve our country. You should be applauded for that. Thank you. And so, you want to serve your country.
Yes, sir.
Not your government.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You swear an oath to the Constitution and the people of the country,
Yes, sir.
not the government. Those are two different things.
Yes, sir.
We have great people in this country. We have fallen. We are definitely in a place where I think we're in moral decline. But look at the goodness that still exists in this country.
Yes, sir.
And you're fighting to uphold those ideals, that kids can live in a free society. We as conservatives differentiate between love of country and distrust and disdain of the government. Those are two different things.
Yes, sir.
And the country is about our tradition, our history, our values, our people, our culture. And the government is just a temporary stakeholder of charlatans, criminals, and people that are constantly deceiving us and stealing from us. So how do you reconcile it? Every day that you go to fight for us, you say, I'm not fighting for politicians. I'm fighting for the 3-year-old right now in Reno, Nevada, so that they can have a better future.
Yes, sir.
I'm fighting for the homeschool parent.
Yes, sir.
I'm fighting for the pastor. I'm fighting so that we can keep on having liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty, the pursuit of happiness. That's what you're fighting for,
Yes, sir.
not the den of thieves in Washington, D.C.
Essentially, right? That's the idea of protecting one's nation, right?
Can I be a little bit of a nitpicky dick and just say that wasn't a debate? That's not what a debate is.
No, I was trying to find.
They had the
clips.
same side.
Yeah. Well, it's just showing some of his points of views.
Yeah.
For some reason, why is this? I'm just gonna check this up, I guess, and I'll be really loud. Check, vagina, penis, boobies. All right. And then Billy, talk to me for a second.
I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you however you want me to
fine.
talk to you.
Your mic's fine. So
Yeah.
hopefully that works, everybody. It's just like this fucking StreamYard thing. Once it's like, it's good. Me and Aaron have had trouble with this recently where he's too loud or I'm too loud. It's just nonsense, everybody. I was trying to find ones, but there's so much stuff about his death. To get into that, okay? So when I saw I was at work and I literally was just about to leave and open my phone, and then it was already on like Facebook or something, and I saw the shot of it in the neck and just falling, and I was like, what the fuck? Like at first I'm like, everything is fake and gay now, and it's just like I thought it was AI or something. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I instantly looked it up, and I saw it pretty quickly because I saw that it was like 6 minutes ago. On only a couple news stations that Charlie Kirk was just murdered or assassinated or whatever, right, or shot. There's speculations about what's going on, and then it was pretty disturbing. I showed a couple of people at work, even my boss. I was like, Leo, look what the fuck happened. And it was disturbing. We'll get into people think it's like fake and stuff, and he's still alive. And there's a lot of different conspiracies around the ether, around the internet, And I'll explain my thoughts on that. Considering I used to be a massive conspiracy theorist in that regard, but I'm starting to like really question these things that they put out there. But it kind of shocked me when me and Aaron were talking about it. I said that like, I've seen some weird shit on the internet. I've seen like death and stuff like that on the internet in my own life and whatever. But that just like kind of was disturbing, right? I've seen some, rotten.com and like, the people would be like, well, the beheadings from Al-Qaeda, which was fake, or ISIS, whatever, that beheading of that journalist was fake. They proved that. A lot of people think it's real. It's not.
That's a different conversation. Yeah, carry on. We'll circle back to that another day. I'm very curious about that, but carry on.
It was fake. They staged it.
Oh, shit.
But, there's like that Russian hammer video. Like, we watched fucked up shit, man. We grew up when the internet was like the Wild Wild West. It was first popping off.
The Pain Olympics.
And it just disturbed me. There was something about it, like just the way, and I think he's actually dead. I think he was killed. We'll get into all that stuff. But I want to know your thoughts, because we literally haven't talked about this at all. You've been busy. I've been busy. We haven't really talked. So, like, What was your initial thoughts? When did you find out about it?
It was again, like we're all on our phones, right? So as soon as you hear something, it goes pretty riled. Actually, funny enough, who posted it like pretty freaking quickly were the makers of South Park. And I think
Really?
that was like the first thing that dinged my phone. And I'm like, because they just made an episode about him, right? It was just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the week before he died or whatever, 2 weeks.
Weird.
But did you ever watch it? It was a good episode.
No.
It was funny.
I can't watch
Yeah.
cartoons anymore, man. I mostly just watch
South
like,
Park's
Kill
funny
Tony
though.
and shit.
You got it. But yeah, no, because I was actually just progressively more and more getting into him. Me and my brother
Yeah, I
talked
like some
about
of
him
the
quite
stuff he was saying.
regularly, and yeah, he was big into him as well. But just watching more and more of his debates and of like the way he thought and talked, and then it was kind of weird to see after he died how many people kind of like turned on him, like where they were saying like such horrible shit that they weren't like some people were saying beforehand, but after he died, like it ramped up like times 1,000. Like everybody basically before it was all just about he didn't accept trans, and that was kind of like the only argument
that's because
to
those
him.
people are mentally ill.
But that's what I mean. That was the only argument to him, really. That and college is a sham.
Yeah, yeah.
Those were
Which
his
it
two
is.
biggest ones.
Shit
And those
is.
are what everybody like got upset about, or people that were like indoctrinated in that, right? They
Yeah.
think like they're like, oh no, this is my fucking life. I have a university degree.
I cut off my dick because I have no identity, so they sold me this fake identity that can be whatever I want.
Yeah, because they're whatever pills you need to fix that. But yeah, and then after he died, everyone's like, oh no, I hated women. I'm like, what? When the fuck did that happen? I missed all of that. So I tried to find it, but no,
But
he
is that
didn't.
acceptable for death though? If I say that women should stay in the kitchen, I deserve to die. Like that's the craziest lunacy of the left. And if it was someone on their side that was murdered for their opinions, they would be riding the streets. Look what happened during BLM when a fucking drug addict died. Like, you know what I mean? They built statues of him.
Well, they have a lot of they have a lot of cases to say that there's a lot. Yeah. Did we ever talk about George Floyd?
I did in the race war episode that me.
Yeah, but how like absolute fucking nonsense that was.
And I fell for it too. I will admit that I fell for it. And was like, Black Lives Matter. And now, I'm on board White Lives Matter.
Yeah, see, then there's over extremes.
All lives matter. But,
you can't go from one end
that
to
was
the other.
funded specifically by people like George Soros, like literally, and it was a Marxist movement. They admitted. So, and what was your reaction when did you see the video?
I did. Well, okay, I don't like to really see that graphic of shit personally. So I saw a little bit of it. I believe you.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that. Not really. No, I didn't actually watch it. I don't want to either. Don't. You're gonna get your freaking podcast taken down.
You didn't see it.
What's the fucking point? Why?
It was fucked, man.
Cool. I believe you.
It destroyed.
Why do I need to see that?
Even Chelsea was like, I don't want to see anything like that again. It fucked up.
Sounds about right. I believe you. I
watched
see
it like
the
5
first
times
place.
and then put it in my spank bank. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm just.
That's
kidding.
wild.
It's a fucking joke. It was fucked though. Like it disturbed me to a level that I haven't been disturbed by something that I've seen.
Why are you trying to show me then?
Well,
Leave me alone.
Because I know what it is. I want you to live in my trauma. Live in my
that's exactly what you
experience.
want. You fucking asshole.
But like it is crazy because I've seen like crazy stuff, especially with the videos being released of like some of the attacks by immigrants and stuff like that around the Western world. And that shit was like, I think he's dead. It looked real as fuck to me. And there's like forensic evidence, like Arrow was talking about, just like how he seized up. And then he that was a kill shot. And it will be interesting because that was not a 30-06. Like there's no way that would have blown off half his fucking neck. There's a lot of speculation. So I'm actually surprised you didn't see the video because it was just like.
Well, it was there. I turned it off purposefully.
Good for you, man. You have some.
I don't want to watch that. That's not going to invite.
For sure.
Like who's
good that I didn't see it.
Like, why do you see? That's kind of how I live my life, though. Like, why do you see something like that? And like, pretty much every action I take is this going to make me sad or happy? And if the answer's not fucking happy, I'm like,
do you want to watch this horror movie? And you're like, will it make me happy? And I'm like,
yeah, that's kind of why I only watch comedies. Have you not caught on to that?
Man, I've warped my brain so much with the I would say somewhat to desensitize myself about the things going on. That we're like seeing some of the stuff to do with the invasion that's happening and what's happening in Europe, almost like to kind of mentally prepare myself for the things that may come to pass considering the way that Canada and the Western world is headed,
fair
and all
enough.
the things that are going on. I wish I could live more like you. Like I was thinking today, I was like, ignorance is bliss, but it's really not, because
Fucking is. I don't
if
care.
something does happen, you won't be mentally prepared. A lot of people, if something did hit the fan, like World War III or something came about
good.
that was very traumatic, like another 9/11 event, which they keep saying that there's a lot of people are saying a big event is coming, right?
Well, you're missing something.
And then there will be a lot of people, specifically a lot of liberals, that will be hiding in like a corner, curled up in a ball, being like, I miss when I could just dress up like a furry and whack off and goon all night. You know what I mean?
Sounds like a good evening, but
You know what a gooning is? God,
yeah.
man. I don't like working with those young
I don't want to
kids,
talk
man.
about it.
See, and the thing is, this is for all the fans out there and the people listening and watching. Like, this is how I deal with traumatic events, right? Like, it's through comedy, right? You know, it's just how it goes, right? So, I'll play another video of him. It was not really a debate. I was just trying to convey some of his ideas of why he thinks the ways that he does, right?
I wish you had that black one I'm talking about, the guy where he's talking about black rights.
If you want to bring it up, I don't know how to do that.
It was on TikTok. I don't know how to get that on my computer.
I think it's this one.
A liberal came to speak at University of Kentucky, they'd give an open mic like I just did to a conservative and had a discussion like this.
I certainly hope they would.
No, they wouldn't, because speech is not a left-wing value. That's why Chuck Schumer went on the Senate floor yesterday and called for the censorship of a cable television program. That is why they have to deploy shock troops called Antifa to go after everywhere I go. When I go to University of California, Davis next week, there has to be 120 police officers because of the threats, the violent threats of liberals that want to disrupt our events. There are no right-wing hecklers that come to events like this. Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, myself, Candace Owens need 24/7, 365 armed security to prevent ourselves from the violent threats from the left. And so I think it's rather clear there's one side that is trying to do everything they can to shut one side up and one side that's trying to open up the marketplace of ideas. And I think that's rather self-evident. But I do want to thank you for coming here tonight and demonstrating.
I totally disagree with everything you just said. I don't discount that you've received death threats or anything like that.
So how about this? Public approval polls show that a majority of liberals do not believe the First Amendment is absolute. What do you have to say about that?
This is what's crazy, right? Is the people that claim to be about love, intolerance, and inclusivity are the most hateful, racist, you could say, and bigoted people to ever exist in the.
All right, I'm gonna stop you. That's a broad statement. There's a lot of people, and I gravitate a lot, like personal relationships, I gravitate towards a lot of liberal people. But, however, this is another marketing ploy to fucking more or less divide
and conquer.
Why the fuck are we all mad at the other side? Like, stop being fucking angry. Just let it go.
The liberals are not the liberals from like the 1950s, 60s, and 70s.
Still, fair enough.
Even in the stretch of imagination, like a conservative.
Why does it have to be about politics, though?
Well, it doesn't either, because I'm not a conservative or a liberal. I think both sides are co-opted in this divide and conquer. But the people that identify as liberal and identify in these ideologies.
My name's Billy, and I'm a liberal.
Right?
Do people do
They
that?
literally. So
do people do that?
Yes. Think about this, right? So, their identity has become this leftist ideology, which actually stems from Marxism and communism.
That's more of a clan now.
That's what's happened. The left is totally a Marxist ideology. It comes from cultural Marxism. Every single foundation of their ideology, at least right now, at least in the last 20 years, has been 100% constructed by Marxist leftist ideologies. They're literally holding a communist school in Halifax, Nova Scotia, right? And the thing is, imagine if I was like, I'm going to make a National Socialist school. Like, imagine the outrage, and you have all these useful idiots, because in their own doctrine, they use the youth to essentially rebel and create revolution so they can consolidate power, right? But it's these people have like essentially lost their minds in such a grandiose way that they now think that if you think different than them and their cult, which I also think MAGA is a cult too, that you should be silenced for it, right? The whole idea of like, this freedom of speech. There was like there was a Canadian liberal, Lyon McKenzie, who was I believe, a good prime minister. And you know what he said about the Jays coming in here and say, like, what would you take a Jewish refugee? And he said 0. We won't take any. So like, this is the way they thought, like, not that long ago, but because everything has been manufactured and brainwashed to pit right against left, it all stems from the same thing. But you gotta admit, the left.
Can you
is
admit
lunatics.
though, it's fucking working?
It is.
Think of how you're talking.
Well, no, it is, and right, and the thing is, it's working.
It goes both ways.
Well, it's working because I'm not either side, right? They're both, but realistically, my values would be real conservatism, right? Conserving your identity, your heritage, your cultural way of life, right? And that's why with all this stuff that's going on in the world, especially in the Western world, of flooding the countries with people and stuff like that, it's actually working to divide and conquer people, because you have enclaves, certain ethnic groups that just speak their own languages, do their own culture. But right, think about the left today, right? It's not what it was before, because I guess, like, consider in the 90s, if I was existing in the 90s as who I am today, I'd probably be more liberalist ideologies, right? It shifted. Like, there was hip hop groups and stuff like that, like East Coast Avengers and some of like Immoral Technique. They were more kind of leftist leaning in the way they thought about freedom, but that's kind of shifted. And what's happened, I think, is people that lack identity. So if you've been stripped of your identity, right, like who you are, you're told your ancestors are evil, especially as white people, because a lot of liberals are these crazy leftist white women and trans, and they've been so subverted, right? If you've lost your identity, your heritage, who you're supposed to be, who you are as the core of your identity, and they've told you can't be that because it's hateful or racist, they will gravitate towards other tribalistic views of living, right? So if you think about the way the left has gone, it is more like this tribalistic view of like, I hate everyone that doesn't fit in this box that I exist in. And then the box was like big, right? It was they were believing in a bunch of different freedom, love, and then it got smaller and smaller and smaller. Kegels. And it's like, now if you don't like kiss the feet of black people for their oppression, and you don't cut off your dick and become a liberal or become a trans, or if you don't respect trans people in the way that they exist and live in this reality by subverting their own literally DNA, if you didn't take a bunch of boosters because the government scared you to think that there is an invisible threat, all of that stuff, then it's like, well, I think that you should be unalived, because it's careful on YouTube, but essentially like killed for your beliefs. And I think that's from my point of view, that's only coming from one side. You didn't see people riot and kill each other and burn down buildings over Charlie Kirk's murder.
No. We've definitely, again, though, to the other side, people have done pretty shitty fucking things there too.
Name some
shitty things that the conservatives have done.
Well, yeah, the right wing, specifically in the last like 20 years.
The fucking White House shit.
Well, they're not
that big ass fucking riot. That was a pretty good one.
What?
January 6th.
They let them in, dude. They let
again,
them in.
though. To be fair, after
they didn't do anything. The guy
did.
like held up a thing, and they went in Nancy Pelosi's office and rubbed their balls on the desk.
Again, no protest.
There's a cop going like this. Come in.
Protest against the government in general, and I know you're going to disagree with this, but there were a lot of people who were affected negatively from the things like the trucker convoy in Canada.
From horns honking.
Imagine you had
more affected by.
Imagine all those fucking horns happen when your newborn was outside. You're trying to get up for fucking work.
All you hear is burn. In their ideology, they're fighting for the freedom, and they were respectful and stopped doing it after 10 o'clock.
I get that. Well,
that didn't affect anybody.
I'm sure not
what
everyone
affected
did,
people
but
was cutting them off from their social ability to live, to coexist with other human beings, to let their grandparents die in old folks' homes, to get shots that end up killing them because our fertility rate has dropped 90%. All of those things that people thought they were fighting for, and being like, well, we got to keep everyone safe. When the government tells you that you have to give up rights for freedom, you're a fucking idiot, because they're just using that to take control of you, right? And what happens when it gets bad enough, where people will literally they're going to knock down your door because you said something that offended somebody else. That's the way that leftist ideology goes. And if you study Bolshevism and the communist revolution, they're replicating it now. Yeah. These truckers did not honk after hours.
I understand. It's still, again, no. I'm not saying it was a bad thing in general. I'm just saying no matter which way you are, if you live in that box, this is all I'm saying, is we live in the box of we're kind of leaning to conservative just because of everything that liberals doing. So we live our entire life feeding ourselves information that basically prove our identity. It's the same thing that we go, oh, that happened. Oh, no shit, because of that.
Yeah, but our identity is our heritage, right?
However, it works both ways, is all I'm saying. Whenever you want to, and this works for everybody, and this kind of pisses me off, whenever you want to plant your foot and say those people are fucking dumb, you're a fucking moron too.
I agree.
You're stupid too.
It feeds into the divide and conquer tactic, but if you can condition people so well that they'll actually self-destruct themselves along with everybody around them, then I think that ideology is a little more sick. And we don't, in Canada at least, there is no conservative, there's no opposition movement. They're known as progressive conservatives. So
I get
that's what they call them, progressive conservative. Rob Ford just got elected. They're not even conservative, because what are they conserving? They're bring in tons of Indians that subvert our culture and change it to something totally different. If Canada becomes majority Indians, which it could in the next 20 years, it won't be Canada anymore, right? So the idea of what real conservatism is conserving one's nation, one's identity, of who we are as a people, the founding stock of the people that created a nation, right? And you see this in the UK is going a dangerous direction. But all of this stuff is 100% being used to be manufacture consent, and to divide and conquer, and to people to acquiesce to their own enslavement. That's a fact of what they're definitely doing that.
So totally fucking agree with that.
Someone liked your blazer in the chat.
Yeah, damn right. It's a fuck good blazer. The whole thing, I know, it was last minute. I fucking show up in a t-shirt and fucking pants a minute before the shit starts. I look on, he's got a full ass suit, and I'm like, holy shit.
I feel lucky. I have 3 suits. All the people have that, but I was going through my suits for a wedding tomorrow, and I was like, you know what, this is kind of like a important episode. Yeah,
who's getting married?
Just someone within the family. Just like Chelsea's family side.
Anyway, so basically,
I need one fun suit though. I need one Dumb and Dumber suit.
Yeah, we'll get a fun suit. Get a trash bag or something.
That's not what I want.
No, but Sharpie on it. I don't want. And can we talk objectively and see how much we can actually come up with? Can we talk about the Charlie Kirk murder without pointing to saying it was a political side? Is there an avenue of that?
I guess we can try.
But do you think? Because if this was all just about talking about left or right, then this is a fucking government job as far as I'm concerned.
Let's get into it. So we've been talking for 30 minutes, haven't even got any episode. So on September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was cut down in gunfire at Utah Valley University. Cameras rolled, crowd screams, headlines blared. The facts were laid out neatly. Lone shooter, clean motive, quick arrest, courtroom. Maybe they're going to get to certainty. But as with every modern assassination, the facts never hold. In the shadows of speculation, they grew like a mold. Was Charlie Kirk truly killed? Was it an isolated act? Was it or the opening of a ritual maybe? Did foreign hands guide the bullet, or was his own side complicit? What follows is not truth, is not certainty, but a labyrinth of conspiracies surrounding his death, disturbing, grotesque, and unsolved. Let's play this clip because
I swear to God, if you put on the fucking actual,
I'm not gonna.
All right,
he's gonna go in his room after.
I don't want to watch it.
And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it, and they just go bonkers. They hate it, and they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us. We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
Like, that's not fake, people.
Why would you do that?
It's not the
I know. I saw your fucking grin though while it was on.
But like how people are like it's fake. Oh my god! So I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think there is weird speculation. I think he's dead though. There's a lot of we'll get into it, but I find people are getting a little schizo, and I was like that. I already went through that phase in my early 20s, where it's like everything is crazy and a psyop, and this is definitely a psychological warfare. They will use it, but this idea that like it's a hologram or all this fake stuff. A G-rated angle. It's very true.
Kind of was.
But
I appreciate it. That's for people like me.
Yeah, I started watching the memorial thing, and I don't know. There was something just weird about it. Trump was weird. His wife was weird.
I didn't see. I didn't watch the memorial for it.
It seemed like it was some scripted act. There was
Really?
very weird things about the memorial. And then the guy that sang whatever that like really patriotic America song, "This is America," it was like so bad, and Trump's like, it's the guy that originally sang it, I think, and Trump's like, he's been doing it a long time, still sounds the same, so good. And I was like, man, no, it was terrible. Me and Chelsea were both like, this sounds like garbage. Like,
I kind of want to listen to that.
And it was not good. And there's just so many weird things about this death and what's happening. His wife did rhinoplasty, though, and looked like a pretty... Oh, did she? She looked really Jewy back in the day? Weird.
In America, over the last 10 years, counting or not counting...
Later. Do I have a... I thought I had a... maybe I don't. I'm trying to think if I had a...
Fact is now Bibi and the Israeli hard-right government has a mandate. I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. I mean, that's, and I don't use that term lightly, okay?
And started saying something that he shouldn't say.
And I was going to cut you off, but you had such a tangent at the beginning of the episode where you said he was so leaning towards Israel and respecting them.
To question it.
Yeah, no, he went back pretty recently, and he started like really fighting against it.
How can you support what's going on there? It's crazy, man. Anyone that does is either Jewish or brainwashed.
Again, when you live in the world, right? Someone's telling you something 24/7. Not everyone has the ability to step back and like really look at something for what it is outside of what you're being told.
It is not all Jewish people either. They're being manipulated. Imagine your whole life. You're like, they slaughtered you in the Holocaust. I can't question it because I live in Canada, but there's some really weird things to do with that. I'll just say that. But like, there's, this whole life, especially like you're like, they oppressed you. They even say like, I actually heard Sam Tripoli talk about this, and I thought it was interesting that because his wife, his girlfriend, or whatever, I think it's his wife, is Jewish or whatever. And he's like, they like told her like, you have to have 3 kids, 2 of your own, and then 1 for your ancestor that died in the Holocaust. Even though like the numbers seem a little sketchy, I'll say that. That's all I can say. I'm saying that the bad things did happen or whatever, right? But like they've been conditioned their whole life to be like, you're a victim, everyone's going to attack you, and then they consistently push this. No one really knew him in the UK, but word got around, and eventually was talking about seeing his unalive because of what he said as a Christian. Yeah, a lot of Christians have been. There's definitely attack on Christianity. That's a fact. But there's like there's conditioning on both sides. You know.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at what you said about
I'm a
the
magic
fucking
bullet.
shit. That made me laugh.
So, from the moment the shots rang out, whispers rose. Israel did it. The notion that every political killing bears the fingerprints of Jewish power. But, well, JFK starts to be like, you don't know. No nukes for you. And then he died. There's a lot of weird things. But why would Kirk be targeted? Some argue his rhetoric was drifting, unpredictable, possibly veering into areas that clash with Israeli interest. Others say Israel thrives on chaos. An American martyr inflames division, distracts from the foreign wars, and keeps Washington in turmoil. Could Mossad agents have operated in Utah, a public campus, leaving behind a shooter as a patsy? Or perhaps the opposite. Maybe the narrative of Israel involvement was planted deliberately, a red herring designed to smear his base with anti-Semitic hysteria, tainting the morning with poison. Either way, the Israel thread is there, a dark, disturbing suspicion woven into conspiracy tapestry. Now, he did start coming out against what Israel was doing. Where's that clip where he's talking about? Let's play that.
Well, you just did.
No, there's a longer one.
Oh.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza.
Yep.
I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay?
Before Charlie Kirk was killed, he said Charlie Kirk fears that Israel will kill him if he continues ahead, providing space for Israel critics.
Charlie kind of starting to question the amount of influence that Israel has in U.S., not only domestic politics, but foreign politics as well.
I just don't think we should go to war with Iran. Is a nuclear weapon Iran a threat to America? Probably. Could be. It's a threat to Israel, but is it a threat to America? I mean, India has nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons.
But he was one of the only people to go to the Oval Office and say, sir, I totally understand, but a war with Iran could really hurt our country. He took massive abuse from his own donors. And they expressed it to him in a very intense way. I know because he showed me.
He's talking about October 7th possibly being an inside job.
I still have the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border.
He starts to question whether Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli Mossad agent.
Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who is obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies. The evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence.
And it all blew out into the open at TPUSA's July Youth Summit.
Yeah.
Might have been Tallahassee.
Yeah, Tucker gave the speech.
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein was working on behalf of intel services. It's extremely obvious to anyone who watches that this guy had direct connections to a foreign government. Now, no one's allowed to say that foreign government is Israel because we have been somehow cowed.
But it wasn't just Tucker. Megyn Kelly had started questioning Israel and
Mossad, given his connection to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Comic Dave Smith, who, like myself, is a Jewish anti-Zionist.
But there's no reason why we even have to be enemies with Iran. This is Israel's problem. We don't need to be involved in this. Sorry, we got our own issues here.
The crowd was cheering in this cathartic way. Then Tucker comes out, says, you should have your citizenship yanked if you fight for a foreign army.
How can somebody pledge allegiance to two countries at the same time?
Obviously, that's absurd. And I know you're speaking about Israel. I think anybody, by the way, who serves in a foreign military should lose his citizenship immediately. There are a lot of Americans who've served in the IDF. They should lose their citizenship.
After that, he started getting publicly attacked. Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, the two biggest Zionist enforcers in the media. Laura Loomer, we all know who she is. She publicly attacked Charlie Kirk and said he basically had to step down.
Honestly, the way you are treating me is so repulsive. I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite. There's another article out in the Times of Israel today. I could read it on air. I was just reading before I got on. Charlie, what are you doing? Like, why are you... What am I doing? I'm sorry. Like, let's just take a step back here. Like, I'm an American citizen.
You know what? Yeah, 100%. Like, and honestly, Tim Dillon is like getting based. I listened to him on Rogan recently, and man, I was like, about Tim Dillon, but he says some real shit, and he really does question what's like going on and stuff. And so is Joe recently. I got a couple clips. Let's just play that one because it's this one you'll laugh at because it's like the absurdity of the type of stuff that was going on, right?
I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird shit going on with this.
I know.
First of all, there was that one guy who was the decoy. All right, so you got this guy who's an older guy, who starts yelling out. Didn't he take his pants down? He took his pants down. This guy was at 9/11. He was at the Boston bombings.
All the hits.
He called in a fake bomb at another place, and then he did this at this thing. Right after, so somehow or another, this guy has the state of mind that the moment someone gets shot, he yells out and says, I did it, and takes his pants down or something like that. I don't know exactly what he did. Then, ready for this? He gets arrested for child porn right away.
Right after this happened?
Oh, right away. He's in jail for child porn. Why is that? Well, now you can't interview him.
Right. Right.
And because when the internet people start going, how are you at all these different things? Like, what are the odds? Like, if someone ran it through one of the ChatGPT fucking perplexity things, like, what are the odds that this guy would be at all those different events and be involved? Like, 0.
This is the guy?
Yeah.
I just like that the pants down part is just insane to me. It's like, why is your dick out, dude?
I did it. Listen, I'm not saying this guy isn't insane. He's clearly insane.
Yeah.
Or not. Or he's professionally insane.
Right.
That's where.
Like, I love when Santino goes on like Joe's and stuff, like, because you see a more serious version of him. You know, there's a lot of questions about this stuff regarding Israel, right? It's obviously a I don't think you should have dual citizenship. Canada has a ton of that shit. You shouldn't have that. Also, India should not have nukes. I hope God they actually don't. It's a bluff. But yeah, those people should not have nukes. They don't even understand basic sanitation.
Okay. I don't think anyone needs to clean the nukes, but anyways.
You're not gonna be like that guy they filmed, like that black guy in the New York subway, and he was pulling down his pants and just wiping his asshole on all the handles. You saw that video?
I was thinking of fucking Consuela from Family Guy cleaning Stewie's nuke, going, "Oh, I fucked it."
It's just like one spot. The whole nuke's dirty as fuck.
But shit, you made me laugh. I forgot what I was gonna say.
You have to make fun of this shit, or I'll fucking cry. You're not laughing.
I know.
You're
I'll
crying.
get sad. Oh, the dual citizenship. That's what it was.
How do you have allegiance to two nations?
I don't know. Because I want to go somewhere else too. Like,
yeah,
I feel that as a personal person,
to one
like,
place or the other. If that
sure, well, I'm
place...
not fucking fighting for you. I never claimed to be a soldier.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the war.
You're Canadian. That's your identity, your heritage of where you come from.
That's
if I go to China, right, and I move to China, and they're like, we're gonna start like mass slaughtering Canadians, and I'm like, well, I'm both. You know, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, that's exactly what I would say if I went to China and they said that. I'd be like, hey, it can't be me because I'm one of yous now. I'm on whoever's team is winning. I'm very sneaky like that.
Your heritage and your identity is a piece of paper, right? I can be you.
Yeah, so Billy, whatever you want.
Billy like puts on eyeliner so it like makes your eyes look like.
Let's get him.
I know it's funny. I can just see you in there's like thousands of Chinese people ready for war, and then you're just sitting in the middle of it, and you're like, eyeliner to like make your eyes look, and you look white as hell compared to everybody else, and they're like,
I'd get a spray tan or something.
So ridiculous. So like considering, right, he was gonna get there was money that like they offered him a large sum of money. Essentially, he for a while was peddling their propaganda, Israeli propaganda. That's a fact, right?
We're talking about Kirk?
Yeah, he was doing that for a while. He was like behind the Zionists. There's tons of clips of him saying this, doing this. He was for Israel, for the Jewish powers.
Yeah, is that a fact, or is that from his religious beliefs?
That's also, it is a fact, but it's also from his religious beliefs, because much like people, even I know people in my own family that are Christian that have been duped by a lot of this stuff, and they believe that they're the chosen people, the people that were in the Bible, but that's not true though. There's a lot of evidence to prove that that's not actually accurate, and they're not actually the Israelites. There's a lot of conflicting information, but I've had Adam Green on and Dustin Nimoys, and no, it's funny. I'll say it again. Nimoys. His name is Nemos, but somebody was like, his name is not Nimoys, it's Nemos. And I
thought it was Nimoy, like finding Nemo.
Now I'm gonna keep saying it that way. But like there is conflicting, So there's the idea that like Adam Green doesn't agree with this, and he's done a lot of research. I think that Adam Green has spent a lot of time doing research about this stuff. I want to bring him back on the show. Dustin is a little different. They've both debated. I like both of them as people. That's why I'm not someone who picks really sides of things and ideologies. But
you're pardon the fuck me. You're not what?
Not well in the regards to like what's harmful and not harmful, right? Like cutting off ideologies that believe in subverting your culture, erasing your identity, cutting off your dick. For like to affirm all that stuff, affirm your gender, all that stuff I don't necessarily believe in, right? I think it's kind of dangerous. Once I researched communism, but like he believed. There's this idea of the Khazarian mafia that me and Aaron talked about. We did 2 parts of it, concealed it for the audio as one long episode, and it's this idea that they're actually from Khazar, which Ukraine is now. So that's where their actual operation hub is. That's where a lot of things took place in Ukraine. And because that's where they originally come from. They're actually Khazarian. And there was Christian and Muslim nations surrounding them, and they had to choose one. So they chose Judaism. And then they infiltrated a lot of different governments. There's proof in the book that I'm reading that they infiltrated like the British government and the colonies that existed throughout the world, that they were they were building colonialist empires around the world, was specifically funded by Jewish money and stuff like that, right? And then there's the theory that they're like what Adam Green thinks is not my view, that they're like demons, that they're bloodlines of the Nephilim and the first murderers of Cain, stuff like that. It's like they're lying about. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that claim that Christians have been duped on one side, and then there's Christians on the other side that are like, they start to see the puzzle pieces fit together and be like, yeah, they're not probably the chosen people from the Bible. You know what I mean? These Israelites that they claim to be. According to like Dustin, it's actually like Irish people, like white people that are actually, because Jews don't consider themselves white, right? So, Nemois. Yeah, I see everyone. Yeah, it's it is weird. It's a secular state, not a religious state. Yeah, think about this: the people that founded Israel, the Zionists, right, that created Israel, like Theodor Herzl, he was an atheist. But no, this is my chosen land. But some of the foundations of creating that nation, if we didn't have World War I and II, we wouldn't have Israel. All those death of the Europeans who fought each other over the blind hatred for their German brothers, because they were ethnically you're the same, right? At least in regards of like the European race, right? And think about this:
I hate reading shit while you fucking talk, because like it's gonna get taken so out of context.
Bruce Jenner's daughter has a mafia.
Fuck you, Dave.
That's funny. Are you supposed to be Bruce Jenner?
No, we're both his daughters.
Oh, that's hilarious because we transitioned. But like there's a lot of weird things to do with that regard, and the fact that like the foundations of Israel and the Zionists that controlled it and the Rothschilds that sponsored it, a lot of them admit to being atheists. So how can you be like, God told me that this land was mine thousands of years ago, but then you don't even believe in the doctrine that you're spreading?
Well, you're using it for personal gain, though. Is that could be belief of some form?
Yeah, I always said, without the big H, the mustache man, there is no Israel. Without him, there is none. Without World War I and II, there is no Israel. That's why it was manufactured, literally. We'll get into it. I have episodes.
Is that kind of your consensus on that? You think? Do you think that's where this Kirk murder came from?
I'm not going to say what I think. I'll say that there's speculations about that.
I wanted to hear it out loud.
But think about this, right?
Yeah.
Why? Okay. There's so many weird things. Okay. He was offered money. Did you hear about that?
No, that you're the first person telling me that. That's
then he denied it. He declined the money. He was like, no, he wants to use it. He started to notice things, right? And we're noticing things. We're noticing patterns, right?
Yeah.
And then he was invited to Israel, and he couldn't make it. So why would you? Let's play a clip of Benjamin Netanyahu and ask yourself, why Bibi? Why Bibi? Why would you need to have like a 2-minute clip? I'm going to play a minute and a half. But why would you need to say what he's about to say? Listen.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will
Actually, not
spread.
true.
Well,
There's no proof
somebody
that
has
he said that,
fabricated
actually.
a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false. It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization. Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago. One of my greatest joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important to my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for. And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again. And sadly, that won't happen. Now,
Because you murdered him. Like, come on. Why do you, Jake Shields pointed this out. He's like, why do you need to make a 2-minute video about how you didn't kill somebody? I'll say
Especially when it's just online rhetoric, right? Like when it's just, everybody's dismissing it anyway. And you're like, no, I need to say something.
He's a psychopath. It's funny. It's like, this is the foundations of a free society or whatever he said. You're persecuting people for not going along with your lunacy. That's what he's doing. He's one of the top tier psychopaths. He's a front man. But like Benjamin Netanyahu's been doing some shady shit that even like people, David Icke's been calling out for a long time. This guy is a true psychopath that has done some horrific shit, and I'm sure has visited a bunch of different islands, because Epstein's Island was not the only one. But you're making an admission of guilt. You don't need to be like, I didn't do it. It'd be like OJ after like he's like, maybe that chase isn't gonna, maybe everyone believes that Nicole was just murdered by whatever, that other guy. And then he just comes on live television. He's like, yeah, I didn't do it. Just so everybody knows, it was not me. I didn't do it. The glove does not fit. So make sure you expand your hand.
Look!
It doesn't fit. He's really doing this.
I know he is.
It's like so crazy.
It's too funny. But
there's no Judeo-Christian. It's like a non-scriptural. Yeah, it's so weird that people fall for that. I have family members that fell for that. Like, oh, Judeo-Christian bullshit. They're literally using, and that's what like Adam Green really critiques the Christians, which Christians don't like. That's why I like Dustin, because he kind of just like, he has an open playing field. I like them both because I'm not even religious, but it's interesting because there's a lot of like rhetoric of they use Christians to be like, you got to be on our side. Give us more power, and
Well, fuck. Yeah, I had something to say to something else, but you said that. No, I don't really want to go against that.
Why not? Just keep talking.
Well, there's. Oh, fuck. No, we're not gonna open that bag of worms. We're not gonna do it.
What, the 9/11 connection?
No, that one's fine. Wait, go back to that. What was that picture you just had up? Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying. Who do you think's
doing all this?
I understand. I looked at it very quickly and I thought like you were saying Kirk did 9/11.
No, we all know who did that.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, we're gonna break down some stuff. I don't believe the shooter. I don't believe it's this guy, even though they're like, I got something. His name's Tyler Robinson, right? Yeah.
So, not only is that story fucking pissed me off right from the get-go, I'm like, that FBI like guy that came out and told that story.
Oh, the Indian guy that looks like he's had coke all the time?
The fuck off. I'm like, that is the most nonsense fucking story I've ever heard. I feel like Cinderella's more believable. There's Snow White, sorry. is more believable than this. But anyways, that aside from how they think he actually did it and went down and what he did afterwards, the Snake Eyes. Did you ever watch that movie? I didn't.
No, I've never seen it.
Nicolas Cage. Snake Eyes.
like Nicolas Cage, but
So yeah, the internet remembers fucking everything. It's wild. But everyone's pointing out. So basically the premise of the story, and I never watched it, and I really, really want to go see it now because I kind of want to see this actual
watch it
scene.
now too.
This was all for box office hits. It was just for this. Anyways, so yeah, Nicolas Cage made a movie, Snake Eyes, starred in it, and in that movie there was a government entity guy or whatever his agency role was. I'm not 100% clear on, but his name was Charles Kirkland, and he went to go see a boxing match in like a heavyweight fight or whatever, and he sat in the crowd. Everyone's okay. Sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I got excited, but basically, while he was in the crowd, he got shot in the neck, and his name was Charles Kirkland.
Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah, like that's very close. And supposedly it was on September 10th that the fight happened, but now people are coming out. They're like, I just watched that fucking fight. It said September 19th, but whatever. I kind of want to see it to see if that actually is true or not. But another thing with that movie that kind of bugs me is one of the fighters, like that he was going to see, his name was like Tyler the Destroyer or something. Just Tyler the odds. Well, not the
his dad's lingerie.
Yeah. Rebel against your father. But yeah, no, that's kind of neat. Like you can make it. Take every other aspect out of it. You made a fictional character with the name 99% correctly that got killed in the exact same way. Like,
see,
is
that predictive programming, or is it the idea that like we live in some sort of matrix, right? That like that these events correlate because we're like they're drip feeding us information about things that like.
That are going to happen.
We can go schizo and be like, you know, they had like the chair from the Roswell crash, and then they're like going into the future, and they're being like, this guy will, and then they're like drip feeding us along the way, and they know these events are going to happen. There's a lot of crazy stuff, and yeah, of course, Lodge, you can't criticize Israel or Islam in the UK, both warring factions.
See, because all I can think with the drip feeding thing though is like, is it drip feeding? So for what fucking purpose?
The world is
like
a stage, bro.
It sounds like you're wanting us to figure it out, or what I think is more realistic, I'm not reading that, I'm still talking, is there's some guy back there that knows what's going to happen, and he goes, I wonder if these fuckers are going to figure this one out, and he's high out of this fucking tree on heroin or whatever. He's like,
Mac Rogan is a fucking Freemason agent, man. He's a fucking Masonic stooge. Read this for me.
Right far extremists debates college students.
Far right extremists, you dyslexic fuck. What's that word?
That's what I said.
You said right far extremist.
Oh, did I? Debates college students, preaches gospel, starts a beautiful family, wants open dialogue. And far left extremists, that man, lady looks scary, will murder you for speaking in public, hates godliness and spreads Satanism, hates their parents, wants to silence all oppositions.
There's something weird with this guy's 100% a patsy. Oh, they were like, he's a MAGA, like Tyler Robinson or whatever. He's a MAGA guy. They don't even look like the same. And they were pointing at somebody else of the guy from the original video footage. And then the fact that he dismantled a rifle.
That's what I was going to get at. That was the whole story I was saying.
Break it down?
You're on okay. Oh, hold up. I love this play-by-play. I've replayed this like 10,000 times in my head. You showed up, you had a backpack on, and you got up to the stairs, you changed, and then you put together a rifle with no tools. I'm not a gun expert. Do rifles need tools to put together? Yes. It sounds like they do the way they're saying that. Certainly, anyways, he had nothing, apparently. How they would even know he had nothing is beyond me. So he put it on, got in position. People saw him, went, that's weird, and then carried on their day. And then he shot Charlie Kirk. And then after the shooting, He disassembled the rifle again without any
Within
tools.
seconds of
put
jumping
it back
off the
into his
roof.
backpack, changed back into the clothes he was in before, jumped off the roof, went into the woods, put the rifle back together inside the woods, dropped
put it in a
the
box
rifle, and then went home.
I know, it's crazy.
I was saying to my
Dyslexic
girlfriend, and I was like, fuck off. I was saying to my girlfriend, I'm like, that's actually the funniest fucking story. Because, like, if that is where the evidence led them, and they were like, actually, like, oh my God, this is what we think this fucking lunatic did.
Yeah.
If that guy went on the podium and went, look, we know how this is going to sound, but this is where all the evidence is leading, I'd be like, oh, wow, maybe it did happen. But they're like, yep, that's what he did. I'm like,
And that's what, like, why are you
what?
trusting that Indian guy? What's his name? Patel something? They're all named. Is his name Suck Deep or something? I can't remember his name. I'm just kidding.
Gagging Deep.
But like he's like, yes, like he's always look like he's like railed on coke. It's funny because like there's so many episodes I could do without a script. Essentially, not a script. We don't have a script. We just have like an article usually breaking down stuff that we're talking about. But I could easily, this could be like 3 hours. So let's break this down. Some say Kirk wasn't killed by his enemies, but for his cause. The theory is death was engineered to transform him into a controversial pundit, into canonized martyr. Alive, he stirred outrage. Dead, he became an untouchable immortal. If so, who will it diffuse? Did allies within the right decide he was more useful as a blood-soaked symbol? Did the state itself stage the event to justify future clampdowns, wrapping its political violence while secretly feeding both sides into the divide and conquer tactic? False flag theorists point to maybe that this might be true. The quick rollout of the memorial, which was very strange. The immediate passage of a national day of remembrance. The slick tributes ready within hours. It was an organic grief, or was it preloaded propaganda? And it is interesting because the memorial was very strange to me. There was a lot of weird aspects. Was it some sort of false flag? And I don't know. There's just so many weird things regarding this whole murder, and it disturbed me. But we also have, within days, prosecutors claim to have the shooter's text messages and manifesto too convenient. Screenshots leaked, statements too neatly aligned with the narrative. Could this be evidence that had been manufactured? Considering the history, Dr. dossiers in foreign wars, stage leaks used to justify actions, convenient trails discovered after the fact. Kirk's killer was truly a lone radical with some trans girlfriend, supposedly, and then they tried to frame it like he was some MAGA supporter. A patsy whose digital footprint was planted, cultivated, and revealed the clues that they needed. The question is chilling. If the evidence is fake, then the crime itself might not be what we think it is. And that's what, like, part of my problem is too. Like, I think all censorship is bad. I don't give a fuck if I think the people that mourned, or the people that celebrate his death, you're sick. Should you be fired from your job? Not necessarily. Like, it's sure, you're a sick person in the head. So
you know where that came from, though.
Listen, I just want to say this. I want to get to your point, but okay. You have the left starts censoring and dictating what the right is doing when they're in power, and then that's a building block, right? And then the right gets in the power, and they start, well, you did this, and then we build more censorship on that block, and then these building blocks are essentially building a prison around all of us of censorship because, well, this side did it, so this side will do it, and this side, and then you pass legislation and law, and essentially you're building a prison of censorship and dictatorship on top of each other of this right-left conquering tactic.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jimmy Kimmel said this just about Trump, and then, like, I don't like Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's a predator. But, like, you know, you're just building the building blocks for censorship that you claim that you didn't want, and you should have free speech, and then you're doing the same thing.
The firing people from jobs, though, you know where that came from? It was one guy. One guy's responsible for that, and he's literally one of my favorite human beings ever. He's a TikTok guy, and all he's doing all day is finding people that are posting videos, not just comments, just going out of their way to, like, post videos to go like, oh my God, y'all are so sad, fuck you, like, he died, like those type of people. And he goes, well, you're about to call for your actions. He's like, I've lost so many of my followers because of this. He's like, my income's going down. He's like, I don't care. Fuck you. And he's just doing it purely out of spite.
Well, like,
he's calling their employers, sending them videos of the people that did this shit and went, let me know what happens. And he goes, and he's got a little list. He's like looking down. He's like, I got 21 confirmed fires.
I kind of want to be like, good for that guy. Though.
I know he's doing it purely out of spite.
Okay,
but
he was just a guy
funny.
talking. Like I was
Yeah.
like trying to be like, okay, on their side. Like if Trudeau got shot in the neck, I would be like, holy fuck. Like I'd be like, this is crazy. I wouldn't.
There's no
condone it.
world where I'd be like, oh my god, finally.
Good for him. Like that's fucking
Yeah,
good.
that's
Like
so wild.
I would never do that. I don't like what Trudeau. I think he should be held accountable and thrown in jail. Sure, he just disappeared. Everyone forgets about him. Now it's on to the next puppet. But like. I would never condone death. And I want to say this on the show. I would never condone death on anybody or violence. That's ridiculous that we have to get to this point where like talking and having conversations about things leads to death. Like that's crazy. So there's maybe this is a weird one, but then comes the strangest tunnel. What if Charlie Kirk isn't dead at all? Some insist that they've seen airports seen him in airports walking through security, filmed from afar. Other claims the casket was closed because it wasn't his body. A few whispers that the man shot on the stage was a double, a stand-in for a sacrificed narrative control. This leads to the Mandela effect paradox. Two timelines exist, and one Charlie Kirk is dead. He's immortalized in some sense. Another, he's alive, rebranded, and hidden, which is true. We don't know. So I'll break this down, then we'll quickly talk about his weird wife. Freeze frame the footage. The strange alignments emerge, and I think there's cameras can play tricks. The stage was shaped like a compass. It wasn't a compass. We'll get to that. Banners forming a triangle, more like. I wish I had my. Nahava shadows that resemble the Masonic square, temple, and compass was chosen for the occult geometry of the. Here, I'll show you. We'll bring it up. What does this look like, Billy? The date was 9/10, a mirror image of 9/11. The victim, a man whose middle name echoes biblical resonance. The shooter, whose initials add up to a symbolic numbers. Was Charlie Kirk's assassination a political act, or was it a ritual sacrifice in plain sight? Occultists argue public killings are never just killings. They're rites offering blood spilled on stages designed as altars. If so, who performed the ritual? Freemasons, secret lodges, Zionist occultists, or hidden cults who we don't know yet by name. What does that look like, Billy?
I don't know if it looks like a menorah.
It doesn't look like a menorah to you.
I don't know. Like it's
I don't
similar. I think that's a little bit stretching because there's no points. Where's I guess the other way.
That? Can you read that of the numerology?
I guess from the other way.
Read the
in
numerology.
reverse numerology, in reverse numerology, the alphabet is flipped. A equals 26, B 25, Z 1, etc. Then usually reduced to a single digit. So F is 21, meaning 2 plus 1 equals 3. I don't know how that means R is 9. See, I'm not. Oh, because it's one digit.
33.
It's one digit. Sorry. So E is 22. So that means 2 plus 2 is 4.
33.
D 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. Anyways, now add them. 3, 9 is. All right, so 12, 15, 19, 24,
Freedom.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
It ends up to
33.
33. Freedom ends up to 33.
Okay, so symbolic.
Everything breaks down into threes. It's funny. It's like this is great. Other people in the chat. It looks like this guy is I can't even say that word right now. Dyslexic fuck.
This guy's.
I can't even say it. Too many beers. And I was like, this is what I have to do. Jew, simp, pedophile, same difference. It's true. The chats. Yeah, does anyone have to apologize for celebrating the lynching of Leo Frank? Well, that's how the ADL was formed. So there's a lot of weird coincidences. Remember the USS Liberty? First, Israel destroyed our liberty in 1967. 33 years later, Israel destroyed our patriotism. And now they attempt to kill our freedom. Get it? Because he's wearing the shirt. Signs and symbols rule the world, Billy. according to this meme.
Okay, we're gonna stop this right here, right now. Our chat is not a fucking place for hate. You're not gonna sit there and fucking trash other people or talk about other people in a negative fucking manner.
Who's hating on who?
Just leave it. That's that.
Okay.
You come here with fucking respect, and if you have a different opinion, cool. This show's not for you.
Okay, I don't know.
End of story.
Okay,
Now carry on.
Referencing to.
Carry on.
We just actually talked about the similarities between the Snake Eyes movie. It is weird. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what.
Just
Billy's
leave it. It's okay. I saw something.
For the cold analysis, analysts, the killing was less about ritual, more about geopolitics. The destabilization of America benefits foreign rivals. Russia seizes the narrative, painting the USA as fractured. China points to the chaos, calling it proof of the decline, even though China did say multiculturalism will kill the Western world, Canada, America, United States. It will literally. Is it because we're goofing on dyslexic people? Enemies and allies alike
it's okay.
watch and speculate, measuring how quickly America turns on us. Was Kirk a pawn removed by a board of foreign planners, or was his death an inside job? Calculated, they produced maybe this global ripple. Sometimes the point acts to is it wasn't the target, actually. It was this spectacle that leaves everyone in chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of weird things. I want to show you this because this shit is wild. I want to get to his wife before we have to eventually bring this to close. But okay, so we're getting in the occult stuff. So let me show you this.
Take a look at these caps. We have the number 47. 4 plus 7 is 11. There are 3 of them. 11, 11, 11, which adds to 33. What does the number 33 actually represent? Jesus dies at the age 33. Then he is resurrected. The Kabbalah tree has 10 circles, 22 little pathways, and 1 hidden circle, Dat, which adds to 33. And this is a blueprint of how pure consciousness filters down and creates the material physical world. You can use this to go from physical consciousness back up to pure spiritual consciousness. And it's associated with the death of the ego and then reborn spiritually as we ascend our consciousness up the tree. A Freemason is reborn again at the degree of 33, because at the 33rd degree, their ego has now died and they have resurrected into spiritual awakening. Number 33 represents death and resurrection. Charlie was shot dead and he will resurrect into the spirit realm. 4 plus 7 is 11, and 11 is another Masonic number. These 2 pillars create the number 11. These 2 pillars represents the inside world of consciousness and the external world of consciousness. The sun on the top represents what you can see, the material body, the physical world. Moon on top is the nighttime, represents what you cannot see, the internal world, thoughts, emotions, and the forces of consciousness. There's so much more that goes into this, but they speak to you in a subconscious language called symbolism. When humanity learns to read symbolism, a great veil will be removed from the eyes of men.
Symbolism is how they literally control us, man. It's crazy.
Why am I'm seeing okay, actually it was just earlier today. I keep seeing that Elon Musk thing is saying he's gonna send all the rockets up with number 77 on it. I thought it was 77 was the number that was happening.
Oh, buddy's gonna love you. I just had homeboy, the Florida Keys kid, the UFC fighter, man, that we did the episode about 7-7.
That's what everybody's freaking out about 7-7 being.
Dude,
I didn't hear 33 with
temple building dude, that's crazy.
Okay,
yeah, we're getting a bunch of people in the chat. It is crazy. There's a lot of weird things going on. And, I don't know what Billy was referencing to, but
just leave it.
I don't think he would leave his kids
fine. The person that knows.
I know we have read the protocols. We actually did an episode about the protocols. For some reason, YouTube has left it up, but it's actually our most viewed because we're censored on YouTube. There's no doubt about it. We have thousands of people on there, and then a couple hundred people watch our videos. This shit be crazy, bro. Check this out. This is actually kind of what I believe is going on. This is nuts. Okay, check this out.
In America, over the last 10 years, counting or not counting gang violence? Great. Counting gang violence? Great. Counting gang violence? Great. Counting gang violence? Great.
Okay, now I have another video to show you how that kind of lines up. Check this out. Like, we talked about the heart attack gun. It's not out yet. It's saved up. Eventually, you guys will hear an episode me and Billy cover.
Oh, we didn't put that out?
No, not yet. It's going to probably be in November at some point.
You notice him there? Watch this. Postures.
We're going to get into Halloween. Sorry, let me finish that. Okay, now check this out, because this shit's wild. This
He's
is
like,
a
I knew
real
it was
thing.
coming, but fuck, I just watched it.
Dude, check this out.
You notice him there? Watch this. Postures. He just shot Charlie Kirk, guys. He just shot Charlie Kirk. He then leaps the rail, and you'll see him right there, running to come to Charlie Kirk's aid. That man just murdered, that man right there just murdered Charlie Kirk. Watch this. You can watch his left hand on the rail. He knows the signal is coming. You'll watch his left hand. He's waiting for the signal. You'll watch him grip that rail with all of his fingers because he knows he's getting close to the signal. Watch this. He now grips the rail. He's going to posture his left hand or his left arm up as he straightens it. The right hand comes up with the palm gun. He pulls the trigger. There's the recoil, and Charlie Kirk is murdered. Folks, this was a government assassination. This is a communist assassin right here. That man is Charlie Kirk's assassin.
Counting gang violence. Great. Counting gang violence. Great.
I kind of believe that guy isn't. Listen to this. So people listening on the audio, a man postures right in the front row. I saw a video of him prior to this where people noticed this, but he was like smiling. He's like he's smirking. He pulls out. He's essentially gripping the thing, and then he pulls it something, and you can clearly see that something is between his middle finger and his what is this, the index or whatever? That he's like literally gripping on something. I guess you call it the ring finger. And then he tenses up, and they have heart attack guns. They've clearly proven that video. Almost, I've seen different versions of it. Convinces me because they are claiming that it wasn't the 30-06, which they claim came from the rifle. It would have blown out the side of his neck. Like, it wouldn't have done what we see in the murder video. But a smaller bullet that you could have a projectile within a palm pistol, which is a real thing.
I love it. I was going to ask you what that is, and then it came up with the whole diagram. I'm like, oh, look at that.
A palm pistol.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
If they were trying to invent a heart attack gun in the 60s, why would they not have something like this, right? And he like grips, he holds, and then he goes, phew, and then it's literally timed at the exact moment that the shot goes off. So you could have someone literally fire the guy on the roof, maybe fire something in the air or out of the way of other people, and then because there is the timing of like here, is it this one?
Counting gang violence. Great.
Did you see the other one? Sorry,
yeah, look.
Counting gang violence. Great.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. That was not the one. Jesus. Okay, my apologies. Hopefully we don't get flagged. That was so quick. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah, see? All these like arm movements that the people behind him were showing. Okay, so I deleted that one because I knew that one. Sorry, everybody. That was not what we wanted to see. Yeah, the Seal of Solomon, all that stuff. I'm sorry I disturbed Billy, but yeah, it's fucked up.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's fucked
Anyways,
up.
no, the only thing I'm getting on about this is there's another video very, very fucking similar to that about a guy on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, no, this is the guy that did
I
it.
know,
He goes like this, and he goes like it's like a weird, like he's like, you see a shoulder recoil, and I'm like, I think.
There's so many weird speculations, right? After the shots, the story unfolds, the machine precision, the shooter arrested, charged, named, motive already, memorials announced, Congress moves into uncanny speed. With uncanny speed, social media flooded with matching hashtags. This is how chaos usually works. Spontaneous grief is messy, uncoordinated, but this seems choreographed. And there's a lot of weird things as we get to like his wife. So I broke down this thread. This guy posts a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of weird Masonic connections to his wife. So though
she was a model.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was a model.
Huh?
Which is very weird.
For the Trump administration, I guess.
So check this out. Let me see what this is. Yeah, look at just 17 minutes after Charlie Kirk's assassination, Tyler Robinson was seen buying ice cream at Dairy Queen. A lot of weird things, and then there's
that's where I run to after I want to assassinate
book
people.
that
Don't you just need an ice cream?
Yeah. And there's the book, right, How the Shooting of Charlie Kirk, that came out on September 9th. I don't necessarily... I think things can be manipulated, and Amazon could be, like, manipulated to sell people. A lot of people are like, it's staged, they had this already. This could be written by AI. A lot of books are nowadays, so I would get things before probably 2010.
Anesthesia J. Casey. It's a hell of an
Anesthesia.
AI name.
Anesthesia, right? And it's there's a lot of symbolism within this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, though through the lens, Erica's introduction to Charlie seems a lot more intentional as a handler purposely chosen to guide Charlie Kirk to pristine end. They met, supposedly. So Erica was already embedded in the Trump's network. She had social access, charisma, and she was the part of the Knights of Malta. She may have well been Charlie Kirk's handler. There's Masonic connections. Also, they met through a work interview, I'm pretty sure. So there's a lot of these weird connections. It was reported 2 weeks before his death, Bibi Netanyahu invited Charlie for a trip for a re-education to Israel. He declined, and Israel was mentioned in Israel was one of, if not the first, to report on the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Trump and Bibi both tweeted remembrance tweets at the same time. Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. Very fucking strange, man. Very strange things going on. So, her profile and influence, Erica Kirk, has surged in support, has already publicly urged to consider potential run for vice president, and affect Charlie Kirk's death consolidated Eric's position as the nexus of the wealth and influence and political capital that he was... he was literally like wielding a lot of this power of influence over politics. There's a lot of weird connections because
why did she look so mean?
Yeah, because there's a lot of weird things.
Go back to that one. Like, she looked mean as hell. Like, that's not someone I want to talk to.
She's
you're not going to show that same one.
No,
those are all smiley.
Because I'm trying to keep up with what I have. So then you have so let's get to this. So before she met Charlie Kirk, she was already reported to be worth millions. So it was a fair question to ask, was she a honeypot? Mossad or CIA learned that the art of kind of like in the KGB did this, where you had to perfect the honeypot, weaponize sexual desire and lust to engineer, the obedience and what you want. And speaking about honeypot.
I just want everybody to know that I know what you did to me. With the glasses, honeycombed me.
What does that even mean?
You honeypotted him. It's honeypot.
Oh. You honeypotted
You
me.
honeypotted him.
No, I didn't.
He said a lot of stupid shit in the last 10 minutes, but for reals, you did honeypot him. I bet you got him in here as a honey dick just in case I'm gay, but I'm not. But if I was, I would have seen him coming a mile away.
You honey dicking?
Look, she's not honeypotting you, and I'm not honey dicking him.
It's very offensive because basically, if you think about what you're saying to me, you're saying because I'm a girl and because I'm attractive, my only use for this agency would be to manipulate men.
I think.
You honey dicking me? Are you honey dicking me?
He honeycombed him.
So fucked, man. Yeah, he smiled after Charlie got shot. There's so many weird things to do with this. Okay, so then, there's the weird thing about her holding his hand. The honeypot is more than a trap. It is a ritual archetype in the occult symbolism. It mirrors the whore of Babylon, the Scarlet Woman, or the priestess of Ishtar, whose sexuality enthralls the target and alters the course of history. Did Charlie follow the trap? Like, it is weird, and people are like, the hand looks fake. The preparation that you have to go into to make a body, and even if it is disturbing. Like, I know people that have worked in that industry. Morgues and stuff like that. Are you honey dicking me? You
dyslexic fuck.
Are you dunny dicking me? You dyslexic fuck. They said her G ring is because of her kids' names. I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird speculation.
Kid's name's G-Spot?
So it's important to note Charlie's father, Robert, was an architect involved in the construction of the Trump Tower. Charlie was also he was an adamant about the release of the Epstein files until he got the call to back off from the very top. This upset his base and his, like, a lot of people are like aware of the Epstein stuff. Like Trump, like we said on our Epstein, stop talking about it. So then you have Donald Trump's mentor, Roy Cohen, was infamous for perfecting techniques of influence, intimidation, and sexual blackmail. Trump was Cohen's star pupil, teaching the young Donald the art of strategic power through loyalty. He was also Jewish, reputation management, and the narrative control. And then you have Trump here, as you can see, with his hand as the very famous Masonic pose of hiding the hidden hand, because that's who's controlling it all. Then you also have, since the FBI has not recovered the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk with no ballistics, and we don't have evidence of this, connecting the rifle found to the murderer. I want to see the police officers on camera coming upon the rifle wrapped in the towel. Their body cams were all on, supposedly. They were all looking for the shooter, not a rifle. When they found the weapon, we need to see that moment now. I'm calling bullshit until the body cam footage is released of the cops finding this wrapped in a towel in the woods, because that was the official story. And it's a bolt-action rifle. A lot of this stuff is... there's a lot of weird things going on. Erica's biography reads like a classic story of elite grooming. She went to a Jesuit college, was recruited unexpectedly into modeling, and her first pageants were Donald Trump owned Miss USA pageants, winning Miss Arizona in 2012, and then she worked as a casting director. There is also implications that she was part of that she was also connected to this, like, let's see if I have it somewhere. It's very weird. There's a bunch of Jewish stuff. You guys want to read that?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, so she was part of this, like, so at the same time that she started a ministry called Romanian Angels, which embedded in rumors of missing and alleged trafficked children. Locals accused the ministry of sending children to the UK, Israel, and undisclosed islands, while authorities failed to investigate. And this was part of this these Romanian Angels. And look at this shit, man. Romania's child trafficking town. Dozens of people from Romania and Eastern town are on trial for sending children to the UK to steal in Israel. So there's a lot of her connection to him, and the Masonic imagery, and the Maltus, all this stuff is very weird. Strange, eh?
No, big hugs. Look at those big hugs. Those are big hugs.
Isn't that strange? Look at this. Romanian Angels joined the movement, and they were involved with, like, child trafficking.
That's a hell of a fucking movement.
Is that weird?
That is very weird. There's a lot to this, though. Like, I feel like we could do another hour and a half.
Like I said,
on this. There's a lot of angles.
I even try to get through the chat, but, like, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of weird things going on. Okay.
I've always wondered, is that like the most insane real hairdo of life?
You want to get the curls, bro?
No. Go back. I want the wraparound top.
I don't understand what that is. I don't really get what that is.
Look, it looks like real hair. Fucking block of cheese with hair.
Can I get you that hat? It's like, for everyone watching, it's like
I'd wear it.
I don't know what that Jewish hat is, but it's a big, like, square little hairy hat. I don't know.
That guy looks like the mobbest mob Jew. Yeah, but no, that's like, obviously it's a fur hat. But
read this off for me, Billy.
Sorry?
Read this off, because for all the fans, I always need to get to, like, I'm like, all right, if I just keep this the way it is, it's gonna be like an hour episode, but then I add all these videos and stuff that we can speculate about for hours, because it's very easy to, like, talk. Like, this could 100% be a 4-hour stream because of the amount of layers of conspiracy. But read this off for me,
Mr. Sam Parker. He's verified. If you cared about it,
He actually follows us on X, which we don't have. We have like 500 people.
He's got a little U.S. flag and a little fire extinguisher.
He's a good dude. He reposted my stuff.
Breaking news. The ADL has just issued and reported denouncing the anti-Semitic conspiracy theories of Charlie Kirk's assassination, calling out Jackson Hickle, Ian Carroll, Syrian Girl, and Paul Miller. His last name is Girl.
Do you know who Paul Miller is?
It sounds vaguely
He's the guy that
familiar.
wears the Joker makeup and is very racist to some people.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that guy? You
Yeah.
don't know who that guy is?
Yeah, no. I said, oh, all right. I know who he is. Yes, I know who he is. I didn't know that was his name.
I actually like Paul Miller. I think
by name. Curiously, they decided to mask out Harrison H. Smith's name from the viral tweet revealing Charlie Kirk's own secret fear that Israel might kill him. Isn't that kind of odd? This is not a dig at Harrison, but we'd like your thoughts.
Yeah, because Harrison said that from
Yeah.
InfoWars. And InfoWars seem to have got there. Man, there's so many weird stuff going on, man. Like the whole, we're showing, for all the audio listeners, we're showing like pictures of like the Masonic kind of ritualistic aspects. A 33-hour manhunt, and the morning showed reveal how police caught Charlie Kirk's suspect.
I just want to see that the FBI agent is sitting there and is like, boys, we got like 7 minutes. We have to end it.
So it is crazy. Like there is some weird ritualistic things. So what clip? So I'll show you guys this because this is weird to try to edit on. My wife gave me a deadline, so I have to stick to it.
What's our deadline?
About 4 or 5 minutes. So let's get.
All
this.
right, let's go.
I have so many things to show.
I know, but I'm shaking. I got.
And Jewish donors, they have a lot of explaining to do, a lot of decoupling to do, because Jewish donors have been the #1 funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies, cultural institutions, and nonprofits. This is a beast created by secular Jews.
It goes on.
Did you see that one meme? It was just like Donald Trump being bent over a fucking table, like getting it gaved to him.
Well, he pulled.
He
up
was
the
getting
chair,
it gaved. He was getting it gaved, boy.
He getting the gaved. So there's just like, I just want to play this. Like, I'm almost done. Don't worry.
Because 33 hours. And I did mention Luigi Mangione, and I did mention the Sarnoff brothers and the Boston bombing. And I did talk about the Centennial Park bomber, Eric Rudolph, and Ted Kaczynski. 33 hours. 2 hours after the video footage was enhanced and released, the suspect's father turned him in. And you got criticized for doing that. And I'm having a hard time understanding what people's expectations are.
Sean, my expectation is deliver to the mission and the resources the men and women the FBI need and to produce. And that's what we did here. When you're talking about things like going out to a crime scene, that's how you investigate that matter properly. And when you're talking about...
So for everybody are listening on audio, it's like them, like they're moving the cameras and stuff. And then they conveniently like, why did they dig? And they like, yeah, seems like a no. Wait, why are they moving the cameras? Changing the angle of the cameras. People are literally tampering with the evidence, essentially. Let me just get this chair.
Safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Camera of the footage directly behind him in the menorah-shaped stage. It goes on for a little bit longer, but it's fucking strange. And then they literally were doing construction after the fact. And then there's like a tunnel. There's so many weird things.
They threw it down the sewer.
Yeah. maybe he's going to find the other ones. You know? So
you think the turtles are down there?
Yeah, getting their pizza order. Yeah, how the fuck could anyone trust this Indian? Yeah, I know. And he's like, Kash Patel is he is 100% involved in foreign interests. Why would you trust that guy? The FBI is clearly lying. You know what? Do you know who Sam Hyde is?
Oh, fuck, another name that sounds very familiar. I'm
Sam
not sure
Hyde was, and I wasn't really too much aware of him, but he was an interesting character. And he was someone who...
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Mr. Hyde.
He's been on... Yeah, Mr. Hyde, the hip-hop artist. We'll play this clip to end it. I like his take because I do think he was murdered. I think this is very serious. I think this is leading us into a world that most people don't want to acknowledge that we're heading into. You know, and I think that this is important for people to hear. I think he did, like, lose... He has children... his wife, for all we know, might have been a honeypot. She might have been involved in these circles of people. But Sam Hyde does a good job at breaking down what happened. And I like Sam Hyde. I only recently started noticing his content in him. And I like his stuff. Like, I don't agree with everything Sam Hyde says, or I even like Nick Fuentes. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says. If I showed you a clip of Nick Fuentes, you'd know who he is. I feel like you should definitely know that guy. But listen to what he says. It's true, man.
This is Charlie's family. And these are his children who will never be able to hug their dad and grow up with a murdered father. And these are the people who smugly revel in this, and they won't stop with just Charlie. The boats are burned. There's nobody coming to help. The barbarians are at the gate. This is the fall of ancient Rome that we are living through currently. And what happens in the next 2 weeks is going to determine the future of mankind. That's not hyperbole. That's just how it is. The fact is, Charlie Kirk is a martyr. He is a Christian white martyr. If you are Christian, if you are white, if you're a shit lib who miraculously somehow still believes in free speech, Charlie Kirk died for you. And he probably would have done it, anyway. I talked to Alex Stein a lot about him. He probably still would have done it if he knew he was going to die doing it. And we are all united now in a battle for the soul of mankind. And by the way, this is why we have free speech in the first place. It's not because of some 1960s hippie commie staged faggotry that we have free speech. It's not because Mr. Jew in a bow tie went on a bus and marched on Washington. The reason we have free speech is because at pivotal stages throughout human history, Christian white men mostly have decided that yes, actually it would be worth dying to prove a point. That's how it happened. That's how we got this. The free speech that you enjoy, to the extent that you're able to have free speech, is because of that, is because of men like this.
Now, I know there's people in the chat be like, I don't necessarily agree with everything Sam Hyde says and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've only recently found out even who he was. People call him an extremist and all sorts of stuff. Sam Hyde is responsible for most of the shootings. I'm saying that his point was true. Without people like Charlie Kirk defending free speech in the way that of having open dialogue, there is nothing to have left, right? And despite what people think, there's definitely psyops going on. My belief is that he's dead. He's grifting off the Christians. It's for sure. They're all making money and doing what they Ken, but like I've watched Sam Hyde recently have Nick Fuentes on and other people, and I don't necessarily agree with a lot of what he says, but I also don't necessarily think he's wrong about certain statements he makes. Like I don't think this is what's the problem. And we'll end it on this. There's a lot of people that need everyone to fit in this box of what they think and feel, and this is exactly the way the world should be, and that's why we're in this situation that we're in. That's why if it wasn't some sort of hologram, like all these schizo conspiracy theorists are saying, or like it was definitely some sort of CIA, maybe Mossad operation, whatever. I think he's dead. I do. I think he was shot. I am more on the belief that there was an operative like that guy. Why are you smiling in the front row? Why are you hand gesturing in a weird way? There's theories, right? I do think he's dead. I think that you think that they faked his child running to the stage in fear because they heard a loud noise, and then it's their father actually being shot in the neck. They think they staged that. Like his children now are not going to have a father because of him talking. And that's pretty serious that we're living in the world like that. And everyone should take some solace in that and understand that, like, do you understand the direction we're going now? This is only going to get worse. They're only going to sow more division. We're only going to be led towards a cliff that we're all not going to come back from. This is where this is going. And I don't think people realize how bad this will get if people don't defend themselves in the way of collectivizing and coming together for a collective idea of, like, there is us versus them. No matter what side you're on, it is us versus the oligarchs, the bankers, the people that really control this world, the 13 Illuminati bloodlines, whatever it may be. There is a 0.1% at this point of people, a room full of people who really control this world. And if we keep fighting each other, they might kill us all. Do you agree, or is it?
It was pretty fucking sentimental. I don't have much to add to that.
Well, like,
I really don't. That was a good little TED talk there, man.
I know we've all I've said this to
You're getting in your feels now.
Yeah, we've done this in the show for a long time, and there's serious things going on in the world, and we'll cover it. But this will be the last, hopefully, serious episode we do for at least a month or so, because we're going to head towards Halloween. I have so much fun stuff for Halloween, but the size of that room finally is enough about the size of a synagogue. Yeah, there's a better room full of people that control the world. That's a fact. And they will do anything. They will do anything. These people don't have empathy. If you especially, I'm not saying regarding some of this stuff, but if you think that if you're calling people like goy or like you're lesser than because of you don't believe in what I believe, that you're nothing but like chattel slave animals for us and our ideology, that's pretty concerning. No other religion views people like that. Sure, there's some stuff within the Muslim religion that is kind of the exact same, but I think
few.
it's similar with the infidels, kill all the infidels. Right?
Yeah.
So this is why I think that at the end of the day, religion is a problem, and Christianity at the basis is the only religion I know, other than different sections of Christianity, sects of Christianity, that actually believe like, everyone should they should submit to my will or they can die, kind of shit. It's disturbing. There's a lot more stuff we could have got into. I had a couple more videos, maybe like 2 different videos breaking down some of the stuff, but I thought we did a good job, and I wanted to really hear your thoughts, Billy, about this stuff, because there's a serious, weird coincidence and strange things going on, but there's so much to break down. It's almost hard,
You're big sentimental. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's a sad event, man. I actually was disturbed by it a lot, just because, like,
I know.
I'm someone who's politically leaning. I talk about my political views online, and I'm like, what, am I going to get murdered because I think differently from some other psychopath?
It's so hard to say what you want to say without
offending somebody.
Yeah, well, not just offending somebody, but without like really driving. Like, I've lived my whole life, and I'm really trying to turn a point on this lately anyway, too, of just really not like hate bashing people and like really trying to understand like where people are coming from. Because like I've lived my whole life in a box too. I've lived like I think this way is right, and I think if you don't think like that, you're fucking dumb. And it's like, oh, like people do have their own upbringings, they have their own personal experiences, and they have their own lives where they think that they're doing the right thing, and that's kind of what's scary. Like they think that they're fully fucking justified in what they're doing because they're like people are going to parade me right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to get so much love for doing this horrific action.
Cut off your dick, and then they'll like you'll put you on like one of those like when they lift you on a chair, like the Grinch. You know what I mean?
Again, it's become too accepting. But like I said, you can never fight. You can never fight with hate. You fight with hate, you're going to lose. And the other side's going to grow stronger.
Some would argue that some hate can be fueled by love, though. Essentially, are you like my
maybe when your uncle loves you, but
my point. Whether it be
that was a bad
someone in
joke.
the chat said this, and I agree. Whether it be Project Bluebeam, a hologram, or whatever it was, it is intended to do exactly what it is intended to do. And I believe that the world is a stage. But like this idea of like, are you supposed to hate evil? Like, should you love evil and accept it into your life, or should you hate it and want to disarm it and destroy it?
For the sake of the video and for Charlie Kirk's memorial here, I'll say, as a Christian, you're supposed to love it.
You're supposed to accept. I know. You're
supposed to love it because hate can't grow from love. Hate can only grow from more hate.
But if somebody is destroying you, your family, your people, are you supposed to hate them or try to love them while they do? Because then, if you're like
there's a very big difference. You're fighting the line here of love and accepting, love and submission. Those are two different things. You can love someone while stopping doing what they're doing to you.
Yeah,
but you don't have to hate them.
My love for my own people is not hatred for others. It's about preserving my people and my life and my.
I know, but it's hard to get your message across elsewise, right? Because otherwise, it's just it's so easy. It's so easy to say, "Oh no, I fucking hate this person. That's why I'm right." Like it's.
Billy, I got a question. And
it's tough.
I know you don't have a fun fact.
I didn't want to leave one on this.
Do you think I'm wearing pants?
You're not fucking wearing pants, are you? You're not fucking wearing. You did this whole thing pantsless.
I have underwear on, but I was like, I'm just wearing a suit, man. No one's going to see the bottom half of my body. So I've been wearing underwear this whole time.
You're fucking nuts.
I was going to make that. I was like, just to make it like fun in the end.
I wish you stood up to go pee or something. I wish I could have seen it that way.
Mitch's joke was, like, because he's like, you remember Mitch, right?
Yeah. It's his birthday today, isn't it?
Is it? Fuck, I gotta wish him my birthday.
No, not Mitch, Brett.
Oh yeah, fuck Brett. I'm just kidding. But like, Brett, people asked for Brett to come back on the show actually, and I told them that I was like, there's some people that were like, "Where's Brett been?" But like, Mitch made the joke of like how we do the show because you only see it from waist up or whatever. He's like, you just gotta like stand up and then like walk, be like, "Oh, I gotta go get something," and then you're in like a thong or some shit. You know what I mean? Just to make it.
That'd be good.
It's kind of hot, and I was like, someone said that's so hot in the chat. It was a good joke, but like it's actually kind of hot in the house. So I was like, I don't need pants. I'm wearing this hot suit, right? And
you're fucking nuts.
Let's just end it on that. That's hilarious. I appreciate everybody that watched. I know we had a bunch of people in the chat. I appreciate you guys. We'll be doing this more often. We have a bunch of Halloween stuff coming up. I'm actually really excited because that's gonna be more fun. I know when you do see those lives, come tune in. If you see this afterwards, like all that stuff of liking the stream, liking on Spotify when you listen to it, all that stuff does help the show. Giving a 5-star rate and review, telling your friends, all those little things. For your information, love means the two less. If you want to have 2 friends or 2 wives, you may love them both or all of them.
That is a cynical ass view, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't be so cynical, dude.
Jesus.
Just love.
I know. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe, like, comment on the main page. It does help. Sharing the link and all that stuff. Smash that like button, as Sarah said. Like all that stuff does help. It does. More than you fucking think. This will be released on audio as soon as I can. I got a wedding to go to tomorrow, so I'll be busy, but I'm hoping it releases fairly soon. So the official story says, a lone gunman murdered Charlie Kirk, but conspiracies ask darker questions. Wait, was it Mossad, a shadow hand? Was it recycled anti-Semitism paranoia, we'll put in quotations? Was he a martyr by his own allies, sacrificed to inflame his movement? Was his assassin's texts authentic or scripted? Was he the man in the coffin? It was the man in the coffin even Charlie Kirk. Was it staged itself as a Masonic altar? Was his death a geopolitical play or a ritual or false flag performance? All of you guys out there, please let us know what you think, because like JFK, Diana, like all these other fallen public figures before Charlie Kirk's assassination, had became more than a crime, became a labyrinth of speculation, a hall of mirrors where every reflection asks, who killed Charlie Kirk, and who was the dark hand at play that really pulled the trigger and the strings? You know? I appreciate it. We could have gone forever, so I appreciate you guys. Like, share, all that stuff.
That could have been a good 5 hours.
Yeah, 100%. I love you guys. Just be prepared for Halloween. We're going to be shifting directions into another thing. So
cheers,
support, please. We are shadow banned and censored all the fucking time. So please support it.
No one likes Tom.
Yeah, my face is probably shadow banned at this point, but my Instagram is doing fairly well. You can follow me at the Reptilian Strange Brew Podcast on Instagram. Go follow us on Instagram. Follow me on X Strange Brew Podcast, because X I don't like doing a lot. I just post clips from the show, but I don't like arguing with people on the internet. I think it's dumb and a waste of time. But make sure we have all social medias everywhere. Thank you, love you, cheers, bigots, as someone said in the chat. Let's fucking
cheers.